The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
President Donald Trump set a deadline of tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Tuesday, April 7th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. President Trump yesterday renewed his threat to destroy Iranian bridges and power plants if the country doesn't agree to reopen the critical waterway. Its closure during this war has caused oil prices to spike. Iran has refused to back down in the face of Trump's threats and reasserted its rejection of U.S. demands yesterday. Nevertheless, Trump again claimed that Iran and the U.S. are in active negotiations over a deal to end the war. In a press briefing, Trump also threatened to jail reporters if they did not turn over the name of an anonymous source who revealed details about a U.S. airman who went missing in Iran.
So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail.
Trump did not name what specific reporter or news organization he was talking about. The crew of Artemis II has now flown farther than any humans from Earth. That's our second story. Just before 2 p.m. Eastern yesterday, 4 astronauts broke a record set by Apollo 13 in 1970. If that mission doesn't ring a bell, you can learn all about it from the 1995 classic film starring Tom Hanks. Anyway, the Artemis astronauts reached a farthest point of 252,756 miles from Earth behind the far side of the moon. While they were back there, they got to observe lunar landscapes that no human has seen before. These features, undisturbed by organisms, weather, or shifting tectonic plates, can teach us more about the early solar system. After breaking the distance record, the crew asked to name one of the moon's craters Carol, in memory of Commander Reed Weissman's late wife. Here's the voice of mission specialist Jeremy Hansen.
A number of years ago, we started this journey in our close-knit astronaut family, and we lost a loved one. And there's a feature in a really neat place on the moon, and it's a bright spot on the moon. And we would like to call it Carol.
Now, the astronauts are headed back home. They're expected to splash down off the coast of San Diego on Friday. Number 3. Voters go to the polls in Georgia today. In January, former Congresswoman and Trump ally Marjorie Taylor Greene abruptly resigned after having a public falling out with the president. Today, voters will decide who will succeed her. Trump-backed Republican Clay Fuller is favored to win, while Democrat Sean Harris is seeking an upset. Harris led a first round of voting on March 10th with 37% in the district that stretches across 10 counties from suburban Atlanta to Tennessee. Fuller came in second with 35%. However, the Republican candidates combined won nearly 60% of the vote. Trump reiterated his support for Fuller last night, saying that the candidate had his complete and total endorsement. Number 4. The Supreme Court sided with Steve Bannon in a bid to dismiss his conviction. Steve Bannon is an influential right-wing podcaster. He also used to be Trump's chief strategist. In 2024, he spent 4 months in prison after a jury found him guilty on 2 misdemeanor charges of contempt of Congress. Bannon had refused to respond to demands for testimony and documents from a House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. Yesterday, the Supreme Court cleared a path for his effort to overturn his conviction for defying a congressional subpoena. That effort has been backed by the Justice Department. Since Trump has returned to office, the DOJ has sought to undo several criminal cases brought by prosecutors in previous administrations. The chances of a planet-warming super El Niño this year are rising. That's number 5. The strongest El Niño weather events almost always cause a record warm year. That's because heat comes out of the oceans, spreads in the Pacific, then gets redistributed across the globe by changes in jet streams. And forecasters believe a super El Niño is imminent. That would have all kinds of impacts on weather all around the world. For example, the western U.S., parts of Africa, Europe, and India could face a hotter-than-average summer. Some tropical countries, such as those in the Caribbean and Indonesia, could face worse drought and extreme heat. And more tropical cyclones could develop in the Pacific, with fewer in the Atlantic. For a full breakdown of what a super El Niño would look like, follow the link in our show notes. Number 6.
Hail to the champions! Hail to Michigan! For the first time in 37 years, the Wolverines win the national title.
Michigan's men won their second March Madness national title. The Wolverines muscled their way past UConn in the NCAA College Basketball Tournament National Championship game yesterday. You just heard the big moment called by Ian Eagle on the NCAA's YouTube channel. They won 69-63, scoring only 2 3-pointers all night and leaning on a strong defense. The team is led by 5 transfers, including junior point guard Elliot Cadeau. He scored 19 points and was named the Final Four's most outstanding player. Michigan's victory thwarted UConn's dreams of winning 3 national titles in just 4 years. And at number 7, there will soon be a less miserable way to fly economy. United Airlines plans to introduce a brand new feature known as the Relax Row. It's a way to book a whole row of seats in economy class with special footrests that can be raised and locked to create something approaching the idea of a bed. It's an offering for those who don't need all the frills of business class, like warmed nuts in a ceramic bowl, but do really want to lie down. Air New Zealand has had a similar offering for more than a decade, known as the Sky Couch, or as they say down there, the Sky Couch. I have actually experienced the Sky Couch, so I can tell you it felt a little bit like being strapped to my husband inside a rattling coffin hurtling through the turbulent sky. That said, we did manage to get a fair amount of sleep on the 14-hour flight. And now that I have a toddler, I can see that with young children, this could be a game changer. United will begin selling the Relax Row for an added fee by the end of the year, with flights beginning in early 2027. All right, you're all caught up. Sign up for our newsletter this week. It has links to all the stories I talk about here on the podcast and a lot more we can't fit in. For example, today we linked to a story from travel reporter Natalie Compton, who braved the pantsless nightclubs of Berlin. For that and more, follow the link in our show notes and sign up for the 7 Morning Briefing. It lands in your inbox early every weekday morning, and it's totally free. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.